So in this video, I'm going to talk about Neuralink, Elon Musk, and what is he actually up to? Is he for AI? Is he against AI? And what is his intentions in terms of controlling the population with his company Neuralink? Now, what happens when AI doesn't just influence your feed, but it also influences your thoughts? Neuralink is the interface between brain and machine. And I know we haven't heard much about Neuralink recently. When did all the hype die down? I remember it was maybe about a year or two ago, we heard about this company Neuralink, where Elon Musk was creating this chips where you implant them into a person's brain and it potentially could give them the ability to restore their vision when they were once blind. It could enhance their brain in all these sort of amazing ways. And people who had brain issues were able to move a cursor on a monitor using Neuralink. What happened to all these huge developments? The company seems to have gone really quiet recently. And the way I see things, if the companies become quiet and they're not really marketing so much anymore, perhaps that's more reason for us to now pay attention. So just to give you a quick background, a really quick background on Neuralink. What it does, it was in the stage of early human stage trials. They were implanting chips into a paralyzed patient's brains, for example, and the patient could move a cursor with their thoughts. Now, they could use it to type certain words onto a keyboard, they could play basic games, and this is all with the signal coming in from their mind being interpreted via the chip with the use of AI and transferring these signals into actual movement of the cursor on the monitor. So in other words, you're decoding the motor intention of the individual. And this was really to focus on people who had some form of paralysis or motor impairment. And what they want to do is, in terms of vision restoration, that was experimental. Now, at the moment, if you're blind, all of a sudden this chip from Neuralink isn't going to restore your vision, but that's the intention in the future. So for now, there's no consumer product. We're mostly just reading signals and, thank God, not actually writing signals to the brain right now. So the main concern or main topic of this video is, well, once Neuralink becomes more advanced, the AI becomes more advanced, where's this company going to go? How far are they actually going to take things? And when I say that, I kind of mean, well, are there going to be advertisements in your head in the future? Are Neuralink, the company, going to be able to send signals to your brain that make you act in a particular way, enhance your intelligence, which you might think on the sound of it is a great thing, but is it? Is it a good thing for a company to have that much control, to have control over your IQ? What do you think? I don't know. I don't think so. Now, at the moment, the visual cortex stimulation is still really primitive. You've got current neurotech, which is it's very low resolution flashes and it's completely separate from reality. It's just fantasy at the moment. But the real actual risk are privacy. And when I say that, is who owns the signal? Is it Neuralink? Well, I guess at the moment it would be Neuralink, right? What about security vulnerabilities? What's the intention of the AI decoding? What about firmware updates in your brain? And who is going to govern all of this? Is it just the government? Because I mean, I know it's governance, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the government who are going to govern this. And if it is the government, what if we have a rogue government? I mean, at the moment, look at the administration right now. Look at the governments across the world. They're not the most moral, outstanding entities as things are. Why I mention Elon Musk, not just because he's building Neuralink. I mean, there's other founders and companies that eventually would probably do the technology that he's actually implementing. But he's a particular interesting case to me because I don't trust him at all. So in one hand, a couple of years ago, or maybe even more recent than that, he was saying AI is very dangerous. We need to have control of it. If things get into the wrong hands, who knows what could happen? AI could become more intelligent than humans and therefore control humans. We have to be aware of the dangers. He was one of the main people sort of warning about that. You had people like Nick Bostrom as well, who was more sort of philosopher, but not a head of a company that actually has the power to make AI go forefront in the economy. And that's in the whole of the West. Now, Elon Musk has been warning about this, but then you would think he's totally against AI, right? Like he's going to do everything to make sure AI doesn't develop. He's going to do everything to make sure there's safeguards in place for the companies that are pushing AI. And he wouldn't be the one pushing AI himself. He's one of the people at the main front of developing AI. And I would say not so much in a safe way either. He's in control of Grok. Neuralink, and I'm sure AI is used in his other companies as well. Now, look at Grok. Wasn't that just recently sort of in trouble for being able to push uncensored pictures, pushing all sorts of propaganda, which we know was fake? I don't hear about a lot of these scandals with OpenAI and sort of Google's Gemini. Grok is so seen as sort of the rogue version of LLMs. Now, you've got that on one hand, and then you've got Neuralink that has the power to sort of interpret signals from one's brain and put it into action via a cursor movement on a monitor. That's just the start of it. So we've got one guy here saying AI could be dangerous in the future, but yet he's pushing AI. And if we look at Grok, he's not pushing it in a good way, he's pushing it in an uncensored way. And if you look at Neuralink, well, for now it's okay, but maybe it's just because they don't have the ability to do anything rogue at the moment. When they do, what will they do? And another sweeping question is, well, if AI is so risky and he believes it will be risky in the future, why go so far to even connect it to our brains? Like, what's worse than that? You're actually inputting the chip into our mind, this risky thing. Now, I understand that with Neuralink, there's huge potentials for positive. You've got therapy kind of versus enhancement. So healing paralysis, understandable. If your aim is to solely fix that, that makes perfect sense. Now, if your aim is to enhance people's minds, I don't know about that. So, for example, if you had a 60 IQ person and all of a sudden Neuralink has the ability to push this person from 60 IQ all the way up to 150, is that a good thing? I mean, you could argue yes, because the population becomes smarter. With that, you would like to think we become more empathetic, and nothing but positive things come from being more intelligent worldwide, I'd say. But at the same time, where does the line stop? Like, should everyone be 200 IQ? Should everyone be 160 IQ? What about people who don't want this chip in their mind? Do they stay at 60 IQ and then everyone else is 200 IQ? So you've got the social pressure to enhance yourself, but at the same time, you're worried that this company has so much power of you in the future, you don't want to do it. But if you don't do it, you're left behind. Everyone else becomes more intelligent, can outcompete you in the market, and you're left behind. So what is the ethical line? When does fixing become upgrading? And for those people that use the chip, I mean, surely they're going to have all of the upper hand when it comes to the job market. Other than side of just being smarter than everyone else, you're going to be the person being hired. And that's assuming AI hasn't already taken most of the human population's jobs. For the jobs that are left, you're going to have to be really specialist in a certain skill. But if you can come along, input this chip, and have all this software downloaded to your mind, all of a sudden you're an expert in a particular field, similar to, I don't know, like Morpheus or Neo having a downloaded program into their mind, making them specialists at kung fu or judo or whatever it was. What if you could do that in 2 hours? All of a sudden you're a specialist at a particular thing. Sounds great, but like I said again, for the people that don't want to have the chips in their mind, how can they compete with people that are willing to get the chips? Probably can't. So this creates social pressure to actually get the chip, and it's unfair in a lot of ways. I mean, if you want to teach your child the old way, how are they going to compete with other children who get the chip, assuming they're allowed to get the chip? There's huge parental pressures there as well. And you can slowly see the society siphoning off into two different directions, those without the chips and those with the chips. So at the moment, we can see like how everyone's addicted to their phones, everyone's addicted to social media. The algorithm runs everything. And that's because the companies that push the algorithms, they know exactly what it takes to get our attention. They know how to trigger our little sensitivities, how to get us, how to rage bait us, how to really keep our attention on their platforms. So what if now the chip in your head has the similar algorithm? At least at the moment, you could put down your phone, you could put away your laptop, whatever. But you can't put away your mind. The chip's in your brain, like you can't reach into your skull and just turn this chip off. You're pretty much always at the whim and the mercy of this algorithm. Is that a power you want to give away, or a power a company should have? Hell no. So I guess for some people, I mean, you'd want to have the larger IQ. A lot of people would want that. And what it kind of comes down to is control versus convenience. So the control is, do you want these companies to be able to control the algorithm in your brain? versus, hey, it's convenient for me to have this chip in my head because I have the internet directly blasted into my mind. I don't have to get any hardware or type anything on a computer. Everything's done in my brain via interface, easy peasy. But you also give up control of your autonomy and your, in a lot of ways, what makes you human at the same time. Is that fine with you? I don't know. It wouldn't be with me. So essentially what I'm saying is at the moment, it's not confirmed that there's nefarious reasons to this company Neuralink. It's clearly has great uses, good medical uses, but who controls it in the long term? What happens when enhancement begins? Would you install it? Would you let your child install it? I wouldn't install it because at the moment, let's say we just go on what's evidence so far from Elon Musk. We know Grok, he's chosen to do uncensored versions. And you might think that's okay. You might think, well, you know what? I believe it should be uncensored. It should be free speech. Well, I don't know. The internet, you do want it to be, I get you to a certain extent, you want it to be an open place, but it descends into chaos and madness when you let humans just roam free and say whatever they want on any platform, create images of whoever they want. We've seen how that's gone badly. And in the UK, I'm pretty sure Grok can't even create images at the moment. So based on the route Elon Musk seems to take, and I'm going to look at a lot of his tweets as well, a lot of his messages, a lot of what he's doing in different countries, some of the social cohesions that he's trying to pull apart, a lot of the rage baiting he's doing, the fact that the guy's constantly taking drugs, and his character just doesn't seem to be an outstanding, upright, moral citizen or a good character, period. So do I want that guy owning the algorithm and the interface in my mind via his Neuralink brain chip? No, I don't. So I'm going to say pause on Neuralink for now. I think overall it can do some good, but it should stop where it is. Help people with paralysis, help people with certain mental faculties or motor neuron issues. But other than that, thank God you cannot send and you cannot write to our brains at the moment, and you can't do adverts to our minds, because if you did, I don't think Elon Musk would use it for good. Tell me in the comment section below if Neuralink could actually send advertisements to your mind, could increase your IQ, would you get the chip and allow Neuralink to have certain autonomy over your thoughts? Would you do it? Let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.